Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Goblins, mixing them with the Snake Eyes archetype, which is basically like a rank 1 spam deck, also mixing in Fire Kings. And this is the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that I like seeing, which is basically mashing a bunch of different archetypes together. So basically, if you guys haven't seen what the Snake Eyes archetype can do, it's pretty much a rank 1 spam deck. A lot of the cards will search out and give you basically just a free advantage. And on top of that, you can actually reset up your YuGiOh, which is kind of like a crystal beast that can potentially get you some extra monsters. Really good card indeed. I think there's been a couple of different decks that can kind of splash this in. Anyways, we are really here to check out the newer Goblin Snake Eyes stuff. So, what do the Snake Eyes actually do with the Goblins, and why are they good? Well, it's kind of a rank 1 spam deck, so you can go ahead and make things like some of the Lyraloose cards, and then on top of that, the Goblins can actually act as disruptions by absorbing material from your other cards. You could basically have extra free monsters, so more monsters, more combos. So it is a deck where I want to say it may not be able to be the best going second, but you know, that's just kind of the nature of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So what does the board end up with? So we've got 2 copies of F-Zero, which has that effect where once per turn, when you put an active monster effect, you attach material, negate, and then you get to gain control of it. So it's a snatch steal, and potentially you could maybe use it as material for one of the newer Goblin cards. So there is a new Goblin Rider over here, and the newer Goblin Rider card makes it so if a material is detached from monsters on the field, you get to target another face-up monster on the field and attach it to this card. So you get to absorb it. And then during the end phase, you get to attach a Goblin monster from your deck to the this card as material. And how do the Goblins actually work, and what is their essential role here? So you're kind of just using them as extra outlets for just dumping into the graveyard, and then having the ability where if it's in your graveyard, you attach a material for monster, and then you get to special summon it with the Cold-Blooded with Amanda over here, and then it banishes itself when it leaves the field, but doesn't matter, you're going to exceed with it anyways. And then on top of that, if this card is in your hand, you attach material from a monster on the field, and then you get to special summon it. So again, that's kind of like the Goblin theme, is to actually make exceed monsters and then just kind of take their material and then get free extra special summons. And then this lets you add a Goblin Rider spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is another disruption. So what you're able to add is Goblin Rider Stampede, which makes it so during the main phase you get to exceed someone using only Goblin monsters you control as material. Then if you control a Goblin Exceed monster, you get to target an effect monster on the field, detach a material from a monster on the field, and then negate that targeted monster's effects until the end of this turn. So basically, it acts almost as another disruption, and on top of that, this card is technically another disruption as well, because you get to attach something. So you get to attach something, so it's kind of a negate slash disruption. Same thing with this card, and then you have 2 F-Zeros, and then on top of that, we have Sargus. And if this card actually summons itself, you can get potentially your cards back and try to combo for more. But honestly, at this point, we're almost done with the entirety of the extra deck here. So that's kind of like the goal of the deck. So now that you guys can understand how it plays, I'm guessing this guy, I wonder if he's playing the new card that lets you have double battle phases, because that would be actually pretty good in Glad Beast. Is he running that new card? Let's see. Because I haven't seen Glad Beast in a while, and I'm assuming, okay, you can see the guy decided, I don't think I'm going to be able to do too much with all these negations, because again, you have enough to basically make it so your opponent cannot Yu-Gi-Oh. So that is kind of the goal over there with that one. Now let's go ahead and see what happens if there is some sort of disruption. DD Crow is still a very decent card, just the main deck anyway. So Devil Star, Black Witch coming out. We have the Sinful Spoils over here. So this card allows you to, when your opponent activates a card effect in response to your Diabell monster effect or your Sinful Spoils, you get to banish this card from a graveyard and negate that opponent's effects. So now we're going to see kind of the bread and butter of the Snake Eyes. Again, you're just basically spamming out, going for the Lyraloose, and then we're going to go make some F-Zeros. And now we are going to spam more of the birds coming out, and this card's going to be able to add another Fire King spell slash trap, and we have Fire King Island. The Fire King stuff may allow you to kind of extend your playthrough in case some of the things get negated, as some of the cards are actually fire, so it kind of works with the archetype, so you can like pop them and maybe extend your plays if you happen to be going second. Again, more like this is deck where you want to try to go first in it. So he's going to go ahead and DD Crow, and unfortunately, well, DD Crow is not going to be able to get that effect. So now we're going to go ahead and make a Princess Bride just kind of as a stepping stone, just to see if we can get an additional card over there. Going for the F-Zero, so you can see multiple F-Zeros, and we're going to see the wanted Sinful Spoils. Go for another Diabell. Goblin Rider Stampede is ready to go, and he's going to search out another card. But yeah, as soon as something comes out that he doesn't want, he's going to go, he's got multiple goblins, and now he's going to be able to exceed during his opponent's turn. That's going to get stopped. He's going to go ahead and activate the Valius, and he gets stopped. He's going to be able to snatch down. This card happens to be a fire monster, so it actually does work quite well with his deck because, well, as a quick fact, you destroy a fire monster in your hand or face up on the field with the Fire King High Avatar Kirin. So this card has another bonus effect. If it's destroyed, send it to the graveyard to special another Fire King, and then you can destroy another card on the field. So you can see, you can definitely control the battlefield, and because like some of the stuff is activating the graveyard, some of it's activating the hand, some of it's on the board, it's a very active deck at the end of the day. I guess I can show off like maybe like one more, and I'll give you guys the brief little rundown on the deck profile. Actually, let's watch this other one. This one was kind of a GG. The guy didn't get to really Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's see how it plays up against someone that's got a super polymerization. So is he going to be able to combat the board? So we're going to see the original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye, and after that, you can special summon a fire monster from his hand or deck. And again, it's kind of like the bread and butter. You go for one of the cards, you get to add another card, and then you get to special summon, and then one of the other cards just brings them all back anyways. And so you have very easy consistency. Obviously, since we're not playing a Master Duel, you don't have to worry about Max C, but I was thinking about it, you could maybe get to the point where your opponent might be on the verge of deck out very fast, because remember, you can also special summon, you know, as quick effects. I don't know if this is possible to do a Max C challenge and just deck out your opponent. I love when that was like a thing people would do back in like the librarian days of like synchros. Anyways, he's going to go ahead and activate the Fire King Island. Fantastic card for them. And he's going to go ahead and dump the Barong, and later he's going to be able to add a Fire King card from his deck to his hand, so he can search out the card to pop one of his own, so he can go have a quick effect to potentially maybe disrupt his opponent if they're trying to target and get rid of something. But again, it's just going to be multiple copies of the F0, so he's got 2 negations here, and he's got the Sinful Spoils, he's got Garunix here, and this can technically kind of come out and recover if this card does go away. So he's going to go ahead and activate Kirin, pop in a card, and he's going to try to use that effect. Obviously, that's not going to be happening, and then he gets Snatch stolen. Then the Super Poly's coming out. He's going to go for a card I haven't seen, the Super Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. Gosh, that name is so long. And this card's interesting. So this card has the effect, and it's actually pretty solid. So during the turn or a turn after, if your opponent special summon 2 or more monsters from the extra deck, you can exceed summon this card by using one monster you control with the highest attack, your tide of choice, and then you get a transference material. And if you do, you can't normal special summon monsters for the rest of the turn. And then while this exceeds summon monsters on the field, neither player can activate the effects of monsters with 3,000 or more attack. Then once per turn, you can attach material from this card to return one monster from the field to the hand. So this card is supposed to be kind of like the comeback card, and on top of that, you're not going to be able to activate effects or attack, but maybe we'll see what actually ends up happening, because obviously you can just make smaller monsters, right? See how it plays out. So he's going to go ahead and go for the Robin. Robin's going to have 1,500 attack, and he's just going to go ahead and attack right into that monster, and that effect is actually stopped. So he unfortunately loses out in that aspect. I thought he was going to maybe make a comeback with that card, because that's definitely going to be a popular card, probably going to be short print secret rare in the TCG once it does come out. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty solid card, and I first thought it was going to be the Kashtira's, but it looks like it was a U-Bell deck, and that deck is not going to be doing too hot because, well, you're just going to be able to snatch steal everything, so them attacking, well, it's not going to really happen at all. But he does have to technically activate a effect, and then you detach material, and then once you detach, you can use some of the Goblin stuff, and you can also just detach on your own, and that can actually help if they're getting rid of your card anyways. You can kind of just detach and still get some value, and then if you go into an exceed, the monster's material don't fall off, and then you kind of just rinse and repeat with this, bringing back some of the Snake Eyes, because it lets you get 2 level 1 fire monsters. So yeah, you're just going to bring out some of this other stuff. So I feel like you guys got a brief understanding of the deck, but big shout outs to Spaghetti Rolls for hooking me up with some of the gameplay of something that I didn't even think was going to be an archetype that you can splash in. I didn't expect Goblins and Fire Kings and Snake Eyes to be kind of an archetype. This card, we didn't get to talk about it, but it just lets you place a Dead Bell. For whatever reason, it's just like a blink effect over here, but this lets you place a Dead Bell monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard in its own spell and trap as a continuous. And then also you can banish it, target a card treat as a continuous spell, and then special summon it, which, hey, this guy's pretty good. Okay, but nonetheless, yeah, that's that card over there. I'll mouse over the extra deck over here, but the most important thing is you just make F-Zeros. Just F-Zeros. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and give Spaghetti Rolls a follow as well. He's got some pretty spicy Devil May Cry content. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.